friends. I'm Jenny with Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Thanks for joining. Today we are going to follow up on the soil comparison project that we started a few weeks ago. Come along with me and let's see how things went. You may remember in that video we were comparing a few different things. We were comparing some seeds from different companies of the same variety. That's not what we're talking about today. We also compared indoor sowing versus winter sowing method. That's not what we're comparing today either. The last thing we did was we compared two different brands of seed starting potting soil, and that is what we're following up on today. So I had started some African daisies and some dahlia seeds in two different potting soils. One was a Jiffy brand potting soil mix, and the other was the Espoma brand potting soil mix. I put the Jiffy brand into these 3x3 cell packs. They're approximately 1.5 inches at the top and about 3/4 of an inch at the bottom, and they're about 2 inches tall, I would say. And then I put the Espoma into this 72 count hex tray, and again they're roughly the same size as these. I think these cell packs, the 3x3, are just a tiny bit bigger volume wise, but they're about the same height and about the same bottom, but the top is just a slightly different shape. So how did the comparison go? Well, I will say that the Espoma brand, by the way, over here this is a different seed, so we're not looking at these right now. The Espoma brand soil germinated first, and I don't know if that has to do with the type of tray it was in or the type of soil it was in. The Jiffy brand soil, these germinated last, and they were different by about 4 days. That one started germinating about 4 days earlier than this one. But as you can see, they've been treated exactly the same. They're under the same grow light. They had the same watering regimen. They had the same, I fertilized them both once with a weak fish emulsion fertilizer. But you can see these dahlias in the Jiffy soil have way outperformed these dahlias in the Espoma soil. And similarly, the African daisies in the Jiffy soil have very much outperformed the African daisies in the Espoma soil. So on first glance, this is not a scientific experiment. I don't have everything set up, but just anecdotally, from my observations, the Jiffy brand soil is better for the plants than the Espoma. So there you have it. That's the result of my very not scientific experiment with soil types. Okay, what is next for these seeds? Well, the dahlias in the Jiffy soil have now, there's I think 2 in each, but they each have at least 1 set of true leaves. Some of them have 2 sets of true leaves. So these really want to get potted up into larger containers, and then I will be doing that today. Also the same with the African daisy, and I think I will go ahead and pot up the other ones out of the other soil as well, just so that I don't have to worry about it later. These, I think the dahlias and the African daisies from the Jiffy soil, these are big enough that once they get settled into their new pots, I'll be able to start hardening them off, and then I'll be able to grow them on outside. I'm running out of room under my grow lights, so I really need to get something outside anyway. So potting these up, that's what's on tap. These African daisies have started to grow root bound in their pots. I'm going to try to separate them and see how much breakage that gives. Okay, I think I was able to separate them without too much damage to their roots, so I'm going to go ahead and continue on that plan and try to get each of these separated. that's 12 African daisies potted on. I do have more to do. I'm gonna do all those the same way I did these. I'm excited to get these dahlia plants potted up. I've never grown dahlia from seed, and these look really, really healthy and happy, so I hope that they do really well. And the ones in the other soil, they look healthy also, they're just a little further behind. So yeah, I'm eager to get these potted up. I'm gonna give them nice big pots, at least until I run out of them. These are, I think, 4-inch pots and maybe pint size. I don't know exactly what size these are, but this is what I'm gonna use. When I run out of these, I'll use this. And when I run out of those, I'll probably use this. So let's get going. So I've got my dahlias and my African daisies taken out of their original seed starting trays and put up into the next size pots. The dahlias that came out of the espoma cells, they are still pretty small, and so I'm not going to thin those out quite yet. I think I've potted them 2 to a cell here. Some of them only had 1 already, but anyway, the ones that have 2 in here, I'll let them grow on and then get a couple more true leaves, and then I'll take out the weaker one, and then I'll have 1 per cell. I'm not sure if these trays that are smaller are going to need potted up again before they go out in the garden. We'll have to see what the weather's like and see if I can put them in the ground or if I need to pot them up and care for them a little bit more in pots first. But the ones that are in the 4-inch pots, I don't think they'll need to go into bigger pots before they go in the ground. So plus 10 is 25 dahlias that I've started from seed for the first time ever. So that's pretty exciting to me. I'm eager to see how they do. I do have dahlias from tubers. I've done that before a lot of times. So this will be a new adventure. Yay. I do have some other seedlings downstairs that I need to take out of their original seedling trays and pot on into the next size up. So let me go get some of those. The next thing I want to do is pot up some of the Impatiens that I started from seed. Now, this was my first time trying Impatiens from seed. I don't think that I was as successful as I had hoped to be. I did 2 trays. One was flavors mix and one was midnight mix. All right, so here's one of them. I just sewed them straight into a flat, and I got some germination on the midnight mix, but I got less germination on the flavors mix. I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little tiny babies in here, maybe 7 or 8. I keep looking and I keep seeing little teeny tiny ones coming along. But so what I'm going to do is prick these out and pot them on into the cells that I just emptied and took the African daisies and dahlias out of. So I'm going to put them into here, and that'll give each single plant a nice big place to grow. And I'm going to hopefully keep them in here until it's time to put them out into the garden. If I need to, I'll pot them on one more time, but hopefully they'll be able to live in here. I'm not sure. It's all a grand experiment. So let's just see. Now, as far as soil for these, this is seed starting mix that they're in right now, right here. I think I'm just going to use this potting mix, this Moisture Max potting mix, Stay Green brand. I got it from Lowe's. It's for container gardening. It does have those little polymer granules in it to hold moisture. And it is a little bit chunkier than seed starting mix, and it does have fertilizer in it. So I think the fertilizer is going to be okay. Hopefully it's a nice gentle one. And the chunks are going to be fine, I think. And the moisture retentive polymers are going to be a bonus. So. Over here, I still have echinacea growing. I hope. It hasn't germinated yet, so I don't know if it's going to or not. We'll see. Now, I'm just going to use this little plant marker to very gently pry the plant up and out of its bed. I'm going to try to preserve as much root as I can without disturbing it. And if I have to hold the plant, I'll hold it by its leaves. And then I'm going to just gently set this down in here and tuck it in. I'm going to do that as much as I can, try to not disturb the roots. However, I do have clumps over here that are really close together, and that might not work as well. These Impatiens don't even have their first set of true leaves on them, most of them. A couple of them are just starting to get their first true leaves. So these are really very young. Oh, I think I just broke that one. But we're going to plant it anyway and give it a shot. These are 9 of the tiniest little seedlings that I have, especially these 3. But grow, little babies, grow. You can do it. All right, next up, I have basil. Pick your favorite pronunciation. And I would like to get these into bigger pots. I got one that's coming on nice. And then a bunch of little tiny babies. They need to get into bigger pots. I also have a bunch of Snapdragons, and I want to separate these and put them into their own pots, at least this big. I'm thinking that Snapdragons will be good in this 3-inch pot. So I went in my garage and I scrounged around and I found a bunch of pots from last year's annuals, and we'll get those going on. At this point, I'm limited by potting mix. This is the last of my potting mix. I only have not that much left, so we'll do as much as we can, and then I'll have to go to the store and get some more. I've done 18 of the Snapdragons. These are the tall Snapdragons. I do have dwarf Snapdragons down in the basement. They're not quite as far along as this, so I'm going to let them go a little bit further. But look how many I have left. What am I going to do with all these Snapdragons? That makes me sad. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I do know I'm not going to throw them away right now because maybe I'll think of a great plan for them. Basil, it's your turn. Where am I going to put you, Basil? Let's try these pea pots. I might have to bump them up to a bigger pot even as the season comes on. But for now, I'm running out of space and I'm running out of pots. Not really running out of pots, I'm running out of small pots. So let me use these. Get you all filled up. Ooh, this is a messy job. Oh my. Liam, if you're watching, does Grandma need a bath? Yeah, Grandma got messy. We were doing a FaceTime with our kids and our grandson last night. We were reading a book, the Dragon book. And in this Dragon book, the dragon eats chocolate ice cream. And the dragon, she gets messy. And so Leon said, she's messy. She needs a bath. Does Grandma need a bath? Yes. You know what? I don't like this whole pandemic keep you away from your family thing, but I do like FaceTime. It really helps. Alrighty then. Basil, it's your turn. Woo-hoo. All right. 24 basil plants. 7 of them are lemon drop basil and the rest are sweet basil. So these peat pots, I believe the way I'm going to water these is I'm going to set them down in water and let them soak up from the bottom, at least until they come on a little bit stronger. All right, I've been thinking about what to do with the rest of these Snapdragons. There are so many of them and they're so cute and I don't want to lose any of them, but I don't think I need all of them. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to take some of them and put into the holes that I've already emptied out. And then I'm just going to thin the rest. I'll just say, thank you, little seedlings who made my life so happy when you came up nice and green in the middle of February when nothing else was green outside. Yes, thank you very much. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to thin them out and take some of them and fill these other holes, and then the rest will, I'll just thin them. Yeah, it makes me sad. But you know what? This soil is just seed starting soil. It doesn't have any fertilizer in it. So I'm actually going to replace the top portion of the soil in each of these cells with this new container soil. All right, so I chose the healthiest and strongest of the remaining Snapdragons to keep into here, and I replenished the soil with some container mix that has fertilizer in it, and it also has some of those polymers in it that hold water. Dragons, these unfortunately are going to the compost bin where they can, you know, go to little plant heaven and regenerate life. I'm sorry, little guys, you'll have fun out of the compost bin. Well, I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but yesterday while I was filming, I forgot to film a goodbye. So I just wanted to stop back in and say hello and goodbye, and thank you so much for watching. And I do want to let you know that I so very much appreciate you watching my videos and all the comments that you make and the likes that you give me. It makes me feel really good that some of the stuff that I'm doing around here is helpful to you, or informative, or just entertaining. So please feel free to leave your comments down below. Let me know about your own YouTube channels or blogs or Facebook pages or whatever you've got going on where you share your gardening adventures. Or just say hello and let's be friends together in the gardening world. Have a wonderful day, friends. Thanks so much for joining. Let's look for some more things to pot plants into. Yeah, this is how we live around here. This is clean, actually, because look, you can walk out the door without running into anything against your legs. That just happened yesterday. All right, so this is one of our sides of our garage, and look here. This is one of the places where I might be able to find some more pots to plant in. Let me go look. I really should organize this. Dave had it organized last fall and then I've let it get out of hand. So I keep everything. Obviously, I keep everything. These are falling apart, but I could probably still use them, so I'm keeping them. Aha! Yay, I found what I was kind of looking for. I wonder what goes in that. All right, I got 4-inch pots. I got 3-inch pots. I got 2-inch pots. Yay! Flagpole, of course. Yay! More small pots. These are kind of nice and big cells. And I like this size too. And I like this size too. Yay. What are these from? Phlox. Okay, those are nice big ones. Is that all that's in here? And of course I have the bigger ones, big cans from larger plants. All right, so that's a good start. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good start. Lots of choices there. Okay, but that's not all. Down here, more pots. And then there's some more there. What do we have here? Oh my goodness. There's some round small. Got tons of these. This size. What is that? Down. What a mess. Oh, these are nice size. Ooh, those would be nice for like sweet peas, wouldn't they? So you can see it's dusty. I don't throw anything away until it breaks and it just can't be used anymore. So if you live near me and you want some pots, I can hook you up. They're not beautiful, but they are functional. So I'm going to definitely take these upstairs. There's 8 of these. These will become sweet pea containers. And some of the other taller things as well. So yeah, I think I found what I was looking for. Yay!